Is everyone here, I wonder? Can you put it on Ustad Hamid?
I'm just waiting for another minute. I'm just getting YouTube ready, and inshallah, in about 2 minutes, you can start, Ustad Hasib.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm going to keep my mic on mute because Barak is in the background at the moment, so it'll get loud. But yeah, and there's lots of things coming in the chat. I'm just going to have a look.
I'm just going to
just press the Zoom one. There you go.
Someone, Zahra, is saying, please, can you put up the code? But today we're not going to be on commute, so there is no code required, Zahra. Fiza and Ibrahim are saying, please, can you promote us as panelists, please?
Panelists, no. Even though they're there, we could do. They're here nearly every session, aren't they? Every Frontistery session, they're here. We could do.
And Iman is asking, can you please promote us as panelists?
I would love to.
Zahra
we're
as
going
well.
to the promoting of people at the end of the session. We don't want there to be too much chaos. There'll be enough chaos with me leading the session as it is.
Cool. And Ustad Hasib, when you do start your session, because you're going to be doing the crafts, I believe, is it just yourself, right? Your screen. So what I will then do is I will make your screen bigger, especially for YouTube, for everyone to just focus on you, if that's okay.
Thank you very much. It's in, the other lights are on. Fantastic. It's right above my head, giving me a, there we go. Need a hat. There you go.
You got a unicorn horn on the head.
I've got a unicorn horn, yes, Zainab's right.
Look, lean up a little bit.
Make your screen bigger. And Ustad Hasib, we're just going to wait just for a minute until some people start coming on YouTube. Then inshallah we can begin. Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine. So will I be the only one that will be able to talk today's session?
Yes, I will do that. I will just make sure that your mic is playing so that everyone's focus is just on you. So just to let everyone else know that we're not doing commute today. We're actually doing something very, very fun, and that's going to be crafts with Ustad Hasib. And so you don't need any kind of code, which everyone's asking about. You don't need to, therefore, be a panelist as well. But inshallah, towards the end, you will be enabled as a panelist. Sister Sarah is saying to all panelists, you may want to say, change that to all attendees as well, that we will need egg box, pipe cleaners, paint and pens. Is that right?
Yep. Yes, please, if they can get that. And something, hopefully they've covered the area as well. Covered the surface that they're going to be using. I'll try and show you my surface. And sorry, sweetheart, can you just show them can you bring the screen down?
I can.
Yeah, so if you can see, we've covered the surface with paper, and I've stuck it down with a little bit of masking tape. Not required, but the paper or cloth or something is, because you do not want to get any paint on a surface and get in trouble or get me in trouble with any parents, hopefully. Can you move that box away from my face? Thank you.
Away from your face. Do we need this?
We'll be starting soon. I can see Ilham is getting something ready. Fantastic. Always safety and cleanliness first.
I'll make it
It
big.
ticks multiple boxes.
Should I? So we can see everyone.
No, we're cool. Just leave it then. It was fine. That's it. It's going to start very soon.
So Ustad Hasib, just to let our viewers know, especially those who are joining us on YouTube live right now, what would everyone need to start the session?
So if you can see, we've got some paints, we've got paint pot. If you don't have a paint pot, then just a plate or where have I got it? Some cardboard. I keep losing this piece of cardboard. It's beginning to get annoying. Just something that you can put the paints in, some brushes. You need some, I've cut this up before, just some egg boxes, pipe cleaners if you have them. If you're going to use any scissors, then make sure your parents are with you, just a little bit of glue. If you do not have anything like pipe cleaners, then you can just cut up a little bit of card, a little bit of paper, or you can just color in some paper to substitute for the pipe cleaners. And that's just for decoration at the end. But the main things are that you've got some paints, somewhere to put them where they won't fall. The egg box, obviously, because this is what we're going to be colouring in or painting. You can also use felt tips or Sharpies if you don't have any paint, and we'll just hopefully
Can
get
you
that
use
sorted.
pens instead of paints and
Yes, you can. You can
paper
use
instead of
pens or
paint?
Sharpies. If you do not have paints, then you can definitely use pens or Sharpies to substitute. I've got my admin there. So we'll be starting, inshallah, super soon. Just make sure that you've, Zainab, if you can bring the screen down again. Sorry, sweetheart. Just make sure that you've covered the area that you're going to use with a newspaper or old paper, a cardboard box, a cloth, anything that your parents are happy for you to use.
Now they can see this.
And then once you've done that, then you just need paints or pens or felt tips. You just need egg box, like that. I've just cut mine up in advance. Here's one I prepared earlier. Ha ha ha. Always wanted to say that, and I have. Just a little bit of glue, some paper to colour in for decorations. I've got pipe cleaners that you can use. Otherwise, just a bit of paper will be fine.
Okay, Ustad Hasib, I think we've given enough time for people to join us on Zoom and also on YouTube. So whenever you are ready, off you go.
I am ready. I keep losing this piece of card, so I'm going to put it somewhere really obvious. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So welcome to today's session. The person I've done this session for, Maria, my youngest, who is a beaver, she's had a really, really busy day helping me and preparing for her madrasa homework. So she's a little bit pooped out. So she's having a rest. Funny enough how things work out. But before we start, we'll quickly go over the promises. Just to explain, I would love other people to do the Surah Fatiha for us. But because I'm going to be leading the session, just to make it easier, I'm going to be the main host. So it will be me for the majority of the session. Inshallah, we should have time near the end. And we'll invite everyone to have a conversation with each other and share what they've been doing. If there's time, we do know that everyone needs to prepare for iftar as well, especially if you're going to be using the table that I am using to open your fast. So please do join in. My tajweed isn't that great, so don't be embarrassed. If I'm happy to do it, then I'm sure we all are, but please join in. We'll start with Fatiha. Then we will do the promises, and then we'll quickly go through the session, and then we'll crack on. Okay, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You can say it with me, Zainab. Don't be shy. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim, غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. I really hope as many of you joined in. So we'll start with the beaver's promise. I would love it if as many of you can join in. Even if you're not a beaver, it'll be good for you just to join in anyway. I would love it. I can see Ilham is super excited to get on with this. I'm going to see if we can, but you'll be hearing my voice. So we'll start with, I promise to do my best to be kind and helpful and to love Allah. I hope, was that correct, Ilham? Give me a thumbs up if that was all right. Yes, thank you. I never made it to Beavers. I started in Cubs and then I kind of moved into Scouts. So I'll probably be going all the way up, and then maybe I might come down one day, inshallah. Okay, we'll start with Cubs. My Cubs out there, let me know. Okay, so I promise to do my best, to do my duty to Allah and the country in which I live in, to help other people and to keep the Cub Scout law. If there are any Cubs out there, give me a thumbs up or maybe a thumbs down or 50-50 if that was correct or not. It was a while since I've been in the Team Cubs. If not, we'll just move on. Okay, so Scouts. My Scouts, please do join in. We did do it last week. Okay, in the name of Allah, the most beneficial and the most merciful, I promise that I will do my best to do my duty to Allah and to the country in which I live in, to help other people, and to keep the Scout law. Right, that's a thumbs up from me for definite. I really hope that you all got that as well. So we are going to be doing something that I saw from a homeschooler, and I really appreciate that they were allowing me to share this activity. I thought it was fantastic. Something for the little ones. My little one that I'm trying to do it for is kind of tired, but it is what it is. So this is what the dream that I've been living in, to say that here's what I made earlier. So this is my attempt. This is the funky caterpillar. And this is what the kids made. They helped me a little bit earlier. This is more traditional ones of the hungry caterpillar. So these are what we're going to be making in this session, and we do have enough time. We can just pop it on the side. Thank you, Zainab. Right, we can pop them on the side so they can maybe see them a little bit as well. Oh, you can't. So things that we need for the session. Now, most importantly, we do need the egg box, okay? So we need this. Now, what I have done is that I, being a scout, being prepared, I cut them earlier. And in our experiments, what I did is that I painted the blue one white, which got us brighter colors. And this is the unpainted one. So this is just normal painting, which everyone said looks more traditional and like. I thought I'd be a little bit smarter, and this has come out a little bit bright. But here we go. So whatever you like to do. So what I've done in good fashion, love this. I'm loving this session. Here's what I made earlier. So here's one I prepared in white, and here's one that's just the same color. If yours is a gray box or white box, it's absolutely fine. As long as there were eggs in it and nothing else, we'll be fine. Zainab, which one would you like to be with? You're going to be with that one. I'm going to go with traditional color. What we need next? What do we need next, Zainab?
The red paint, green paint, and yellow paint, and a couple of paintbrushes.
Couple of paintbrushes. So we've got the paint over here, and we've got a paint pot. If you don't have a paint pot, don't worry. You can use anything your parents are happy with. You can just put it on some card if you like. You can put it in plates, cups, whatever you have available to you. If you don't have paints, you're welcome to use felt tips or Sharpies, whatever you've got available to you. There's no real strict rules about it. It's just kind of taking part and getting on with it. Okay, so once we've got the paints, what I've also done is that for the antennas that they have on the head, I'm going to do with that for better reception, is that we've got this pipe cleaning stuff. If you don't have this, then what you can do is, well, I've turned it upside down and now I've lost it.
That?
Yeah, no, not the card. You can use a little bit of the edges from here.
Oh, this?
That I've broken off. Thank you, Zainab. Yes, this. So you can use a little bit of the egg box that you can see that I've just rolled up, and you can use that as one of the antennas as well. Otherwise, you can just get a bit of paper and color it in and just use it from there, or decorate it as you like. Okay, so
You're going to sort that.
all right, so what we'll do is that we'll get started. So Zainab's brilliantly, please do not do what Zainab just did. Please do make sure that you've covered the surface like we have, and the paint goes in the pots, my lovely. Inside. Okay, we'll start with the red. There we go. So let's get ready. Let's get painting. Ready. So we are ready. Okay, so let's just start painting it on. There we are. So we can see from there. If you can be nice and generous with it all. There we go. There we are. Really paint it on. Be as generous as you can. Please make sure that you don't flick the paint or anything. If you're sharing like you are with me and Zainab, then make sure that we're not being unkind and that we just do wait and we kind of get on with it. Right, if you can be as generous as you can, that would be brilliant. Really get into the gaps, into the nooks and crannies.
What's a nook?
Something that's small. Right, there we are. So we're nearly done here. Thank you, Zainab. Right, I would love to know how many of you are fasting out there. How are we getting on? So what happened this morning? A little bit of a calamity with me. I'm really sorry, whoever's typing.
I have a box that is normal, but not an egg box. So I'm going to Oh, I didn't forget the last one.
Look, that's absolutely fine. Look, use whatever you've got. Use whatever you've got available to you. The best thing about this is that it's art
So wet.
is whatever is your vision. Okay, so we're quite fortunate that we're doing this. Ideally, we want it to be something like this. Let me leave this little dude just over here so we can kind of feel like he's joining in, and maybe his little friend can be just over here.
I'm doing red.
Okay, so have we done the red?
Yeah.
Can you show it to the screen if possible to let us know that you're done? So here's my little red dude. Okay, right, and then what we're going to do is be very careful, and then we're just going to roll it around. Now, Zainab, please, let's make sure. Do you want to do this one? Yeah.
Oh, green.
I'll squeeze it in. There you go. Right, we don't need the yellow yet, so there we go. Now, excuse me. What we've got to remember is that we don't want to get too close to the red paint.
I want to start at the end. So
You
the
can
red
do.
paint
That's a
dries
good
a bit.
idea. That's a very, very good idea, Zainab. I'm going to be a little bit braver than Zainab and see if my coordination is better. And I'm going to go right in and get right in next to the red paint. And I'm going to be very, very focused. So I don't want this guy to end up being funky
You
coloured.
know, I thought there was a big piece of blue there, so I started painting, but I went in
Oh,
instead.
Zainab. There we are. Ah, so I was telling you the story. So what ends up happening is that the phones, I'm not sure if you can relate to this, mums and dads out there, phones are super quiet during the day. And then the moment it gets close to iftar time, bling, 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 bzz, 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 phones are going crazy, everyone's excited. And then it kind of goes quiet because everyone's doing tarawih or some form of ibadah that they can manage. And then everyone starts checking their phone. So yesterday after my ibadah, people sent lovely videos to increase one's knowledge, which was very helpful. But me being the genius that I am, I didn't sit near a charger. My phone died. I went to bed thinking that my wife will set the alarm and wake us up. So the alarm went off. Guess what time the alarm went off? Anyone take any guesses out there? Not you, Zainab, because you live with me, you know. Anybody out there can take a guess of what time my alarm went off? No guesses?
3.
Three, that's a good one. 8. Oh, that's a good one. Anyone else? Question mark? That was what I'm supposed to be doing. Right, is there anyone else out there that wants to take a guess? Lots of question marks. No, it didn't go off at question mark o'clock. Right, it went off. So I was supposed to wake up at 3:30 and the alarm went off at 4:30. So I missed my suhoor. So I looked at my wife and I asked her, Mrs., what happened? Being very cautious. When you become a husband, you have to be very cautious around your wife. When you have to question them about something that's gone wrong, things you will learn at some point. And what happened was that with all this technology, she set the alarm on the wrong day, on a working day. So it went off late. So I have kept my roza, my fast, without any suhoor. But I was fortunate enough to be in time to read my fajr. So that is it. We can get some more. So how are we getting on? I'm just going to squeeze a little bit more green in. There you go, Zainab. How are we doing out there? Are we doing okay with our painting? Quick, turn it around, Zainab, turn it around, just okay. How are we getting on out there? So a little trick that I learned earlier on is that we can pinch it from the bottom and you can really get around the lovely caterpillar that we're going to be creating. It would be some wonder if we could turn into a butterfly. How are we getting on with our painting strokes? Are you as rash as me or are you very eloquent in your strokes? How are we doing?
I am done.
Zainab is done. Very good. Zainab's had a little bit of practice, as you can see, with the ones that we've got hanging about on the edge here. How are we doing out there? Are we all okay? Or I think we're really concentrating on the painting and coloring in, which is fantastic. If you're coloring in, that's great. If you're painting, then what kind of stroke is suiting you? Are you going back and forth? Are you kind of just all over the place? Like, I can't see that. Maybe
you look like proper artists.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind.
Zahra.
Zahra, thank you very much. That is very, very kind.
Try to squeeze the yellow.
No, we're okay, my lovely. We are absolutely fine. So we have now finished the painting bit. So what we're going to do now is just, so well done, Zainab. We're just going to
Again.
Zainab, oh dear. We're just going to have a quick once over. There we go. So what I've done is, if you can see that I'm just pinching it from the bottom.
No, good idea.
Okay, there we go. So you can really give it, show it around. You can see that maybe the one at the end could do with a little bit. So I can...
Says this way. This is weird, but I remember you, Zainab, giving cake to me. Who's Zahra? I can't remember now.
Zainab is obviously from Don't Tell Mum. She gives cake to lots and lots of people. She probably will, but inshallah, once lockdown is done, we can really revisit our friendship. So if you notice that this one here is the darker, it was originally this color, and it's now,
mine was that one right
here. So you can see that the one at the back has soaked in a lot of paint. If that has happened to you, never fear. All you need to do is just get some more paint and just give it a little bit more, because it does soak in. It is paper. All right, there we go. I'm just going to pinch it a little bit more. So if you have any problems like me,
didn't tell them to do one yet, red and the whole thing not red.
Oh, well, I'm really hoping that they're following and watching us. So if you can see what I'm just doing, I'm just adding a little bit more color to the one at the back, because it's really soaked in the color, and I really want it to be green and
it's not
pop
the
out.
underneath. Don't do the underneath, so you can hold it up.
Yes, do not do the underneath unless you really want to make it like 5D or something, whatever it's called now.
5D.
There we go. So I think this should be just about acceptable. How are we doing? Ilham, sweetheart, you're the only one that I can see at the moment. Can you point yours up to the screen? Let's see how you're getting on. Oh, that is awesome. I love that. And I'm really excited to see your Arts and Crafts Pandora box, to see how you color it in. And that is very clever. Very clever, using the paint pots to prop it up. That is really good. I'm really chuffed. Ilham, well done, sweetheart. That is brilliant. Very clever. And I like yours very much. Very good strokes.
Said, me and Ibrahim changed something.
Okay. Right. There we go. So I'm back. Fiz Brahim, thank you very much for sharing what it was. Zainab couldn't read it quick enough. So we're just going to pop this down for a moment. Okay. So now what we need is,
yellow.
It looks like that the red has dried a bit. Zainab's hasn't. So what we're going to do is that we're just going to pop these guys. So I'm just going to pop mine, holding it just on the edge. Just going to pop mine at the front over here. Oh, you can't see it. That's a shame. I'll just pop it here. Okay. I'll just pop my guy over there, and it'll just rest. It's okay. There you go. If you want to, you can pop yours just next to mine, Zainab. Go on, sweetheart. There you go. Okay, so we're going to leave these to dry. You can see the ones that we've kind of made a little bit earlier. I'm so sorry I can't read from there, because I've, just so you guys can see, I've got the laptop at the other end. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the antenna ready. And we're going to see from there. I'm just going to check the time. 7:33, brilliant. So we're good for time, alhamdulillah. So if you don't have anything like this, then what I did is that I just took a little bit of the egg box. Okay, if you don't have pipe cleaners or something to use as the antennas, then what you can do is just take a little piece of the egg box, and then from here I've just rolled it up into there, which you can see that this dude has over there. Okay, so thank you very much, Zainab. So that's that. So that's what we've kind of done. So it's, you know, you don't have to have all of the fancy equipment. You can manage with anything. I mean, this is what it is all about, just kind of managing with what you have. And if we are good scouts, then inshallah, or if we're working towards being good scouts, then we're always going to learn that scouts are always prepared. So that's what we're going to do. So if we can be as prepared as this, or as simple as just using something like this, it's all counts to the same thing. The key thing that we should remember at the same time is, if we notice that we're putting the paint brushes back in the same paint. Okay, Yahi. we're just going to put them in the same. We've got a guest joining us,
Or two.
or two guests.
Hello.
Can they come in? Can they see us there? So, what you guys can do if you want is that you can decorate some. Would you like to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, can
This one?
I have Zainab? Sorry, I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to play musical chairs now. Zainab, could you swap with Maria, please?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you come on this side, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay, and then what we can do, Zainab, if I can just pop your dude just down there. No, you can stay there.
Oh, okay.
So you guys can have this one. There you go. Yeah, Maria, you can have this one. So let's get some more paints in. So I'm so sorry.
So you have your
This
piece
is
of
what
paper.
happens.
Yeah, I don't have a
There
piece
we
of
are.
paper.
Red.
Okay, so no, Zainab. There we go. So I'm so sorry. Just bear with me, please. We've got late arrivals. There we are. Okay. So you guys can start painting away, please. So you've got the green and you've got the red. Okay. Now, right. What we are going to then do is, I would like to use the yellow. Zainab, what color are you going to use? Would you like the yellow?
Yeah.
No problem. So what we're going to do next is that we're going to get our pipe cleaner. And we're just going to give it a snip. Please, parents, if you have younger children like beavers that need a little bit more support, or even the cubs or scouts, then please do assist them. All we're going to do is that I'm just going to snip it. I just need a tiny bit, so I'll give Zainab the lion's share. So Zainab's just going to snip it in the middle. If you can cut it, as long as you kind of like, you can see from these guys that they're all kind of different lengths. Okay. I'm so sorry.
It says, I'm not using pipe cleaners, I'm using a lollipop stick.
Lollipop stick, that is fantastic. What you can do is send pictures. So you can see that we've got 3 different heights here. This guy over here has got the smallest antenna. Then this one's kind of in the middle. And my funky caterpillar has got the tallest one. Okay, so it's whatever you feel comfortable with using. If you've got a lollipop stick, then that's great. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a little bit of yellow and I'm going to use a little bit of green. Just give it a snip, pop it down there. And then what we're going to do is just have a little check to see. Right, Zainab's is still a little wet, but it should be okay. How are we getting on? Oh, well done, Maria, pinching it. That is fantastic. I love a little pinch. Okay. Pinching it from the bottom. What Ilham was doing is that she balanced it on the paint pots. That was really clever, that I thought. And I wonder if anybody else out there kind of pinched that idea as well, or if you were already doing it. I am conscious of the time. We are nearly done. So what we're going to do is just from there and there. So whatever you do, lollipop sticks, pieces of paper. I'm really trying to read that. I can't. Zainab, help me out.
Mine looks so different to yours because that was long.
Because it was the paint. You know what it is? Like I said earlier, art is an interpretation of one's imagination.
Also,
so don't worry. It can't look any different than mine. Believe me, I am not the best at arts and crafts. My children will agree with that.
Also, sorry, Leopard, I was wondering how you got your colors a bit lighter.
Oh, this is genius stuff. It's like we scripted this, which we didn't. But I wish we did. That would have been awesome. Thank you very much. You can pop it down later, Joy.
Because I don't have an egg box, but it's goodish.
That's okay. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, whatever you have, if you were able to have an egg box, then that's brilliant. If you didn't have an egg box, then just use whatever you've got. It's absolutely fine. You know, it's what this is just kind of being a little bit fun, doing something different. The quizzes that we've had in the past, I know that I've learned, certainly I've learned from those, but maybe it would be something, it'd be nice for us to do something a little bit different that we can share, and you can maybe add it onto our arts and crafts wall that you guys possibly may have or may not have. Okay, so what we're going to do is that, what I'm going to do is that because there's a few of us, Yahia's just going to finish off. Okay, Maria, let's get you some antenna. So there's one, and there's the other. So Maria, if you want to just bend the ends like I have here. So if you can see that I've given these a little bit of a bend on the end. I'm
Like
really going in with these rhyming couplets, aren't I? A candy cane. Yes, it does look like a candy cane. So if we can just do that, whatever glue you're using, if it's prick stick or wet runny glue or anything like this. So all we're going to do is that because I'm sharing, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit inside, just like that. Put it in the middle. Make sure you put the lid back on.
It's like that's a lie.
It is. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're just going to get the end, just dip it in. Can we do that? Dip it in and just pop it on the top. You're just going to need to hold. It's all right. You're just going to need to. Mine was okay. So I didn't need to kind of hold it. It's kind of done a great job there. So I'm just going to get the second antenna, dip it in the glue, give it a good dip. It's okay. Oh, it's timber.
Mine's not sticking.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you might just need to hold it in place. I'll get the other one back till it kind of glues down. Just might need to just hold it down till the glue sticks a bit.
Glue.
Mums and dads, you might need to help out a little bit here.
Oh, no.
There we go. I'm really sorry I can't read that comment. I've got
It says I'm sticking it with paint.
You can do it.
yeah, paint's good. Anything that will stick it in place, that'd be fine. That's very clever as well. So I'm going to give this one a second shot. That's it, Mari. Just hold it in place. That's it. There we go. Just hold it in place so it doesn't lose its shape.
Mine's quite wet, so I need
There we go.
So what are you planning
So
for?
there we are.
all this glue.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop mine down and I'm just going to put my fingers on it just to make sure that they stay in place. So just gently put your fingers on top. Don't push too hard. You don't want it to slip. Just so it stays in place, just so the glue can dry a little bit.
I'm doing that.
There we are. I hope you're doing better than I am. Mari, sweetheart, you got to kind of keep it in place. There we go.
With your shoelace.
With sure that everyone's trying to do a rhyming now. They're all trying to jump in on the wagon now. So there we go. So there we are. So I've got my antenna ready. You okay, Zainab?
It's kind of sticky.
Right, then the last thing that we're going to really go for is just to draw some eyes. So if you're doing it by hand with felt tip, then that's not a problem.
Oh, that's what the yellow for.
That is what the yellow's for. So if you can pour some in here, Zainab, in here, not everywhere, that would be enough.
There we go.
And then what we need to do, well done, my messy little ones. There we go. Making sure that we're nice and tidy.
Green, red.
That's cool. It's Yahi, do you want to share yours with everyone?
Okay.
So Yahi's done his a little bit
Yeah,
different.
you need to do the green again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So well done, Yahya. He's caught up really well.
Aww.
Marius has done really well. It's okay, Zainab, we can get it on. So all we're going to do now is that we're just going to just get the tiny bits done. If you have something like, it's okay. So we're just going to draw the eyes, just paint it there. Yeah, I'm just going to do teeny weeny eyes because I don't want it to be too big.
To make it.
There we go. So Mario, if you want to do that, look where the paint is.
Mine's not working.
So voila, this is your hungry caterpillar. Once I have one of the brushes back, we can just maybe paint a nose on as well. And we can see how
I can draw a nose.
it's okay, Zina, this is dry now. We're doing well. Right, so this is the finished piece. Let me check if I've got a little bit and I can maybe draw a nose. 1 second, Mari. Let's just pop this on.
That is funny.
So there we go. Do you want to show everyone outside in there? There's Mario. Well done, sweetheart. That is very good.
It's a tiny baby.
Yahi, can you read the screen for me? Can you?
Screen, it says mine isn't hungry, it's fasting.
We'll put that down as one of the dad jokes. Well done. I do like a little bit of a cheesy giggle. That was very nice.
Caterpillar.
This is probably what it is. This is a lovely time to kind of reflect on that. So if we can remember, the story of the hungry caterpillar, we know that it was born and then on day one, it's just the funky one. It's okay. Did you wipe it on the papers? So if you remember the story, it woke up and it ate, and then the next day it ate more, and then the following day it ate, and all it did was eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And it went from something really small to something really, really big. And if we remember one of the purposes, if we remember the purpose of song fasting. It's to teach us self-restraint, to also kind of reflect on those that are less fortunate, but mainly to teach us restraint and patience, and to value what we have. Those things we need to make sure. Yeah, here, I'll get you this for you.
Nice.
So those are things that this can ties in really well.
Should I stick with paint? Or
No, sweetheart, I've got a little bit of glue. I'll give you. Okay, so it ties in really, really well with Ramadan. So
Can I use that for a sec? I need it like
the
as
hungry chap.
tiny bit.
Thank you, Mari. Give it to Yahya. The hungry fellow that eventually ate too much.
can I
If
poo?
it is,
Someone said, can I poo?
no, we'll just do. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be a tie-up. You just do your antenna, please. Just kind of let's reflect upon that as well about Ramadan, about self-restraint. Just put it in the end, yeah, and then just hold it down on the top, Yahya. Thank you, Zainab.
No, on there.
That's it. Put it on the top, just like you have over there, on whichever one you like. Okay, so there we are. So this is my little dude.
I need it.
So this is my hungry caterpillar. We've got an absolute pod of them now. So inshallah, that's okay. We can glue it again. So inshallah, if we look at how many that we have on this table, I think very soon we'll have plenty of butterflies around Walthamsow. Right, what we're going to do, I really hope that you have enjoyed the session. Before we finish the session, this is something that you can do. Please, can you, because we're doing it this way, so everyone can see what we needed to do, we weren't able to share. Could you please take a photo and do email it to our Scouts email address? And it would be lovely for us to view them. And inshallah, we will do our best to share as many of them as we can, possibly all of them. If yeah, that's cool. If we can activate our Instagram account as well, we can maybe try and do it from there. Okay,
Ustad Hasib.
Oh, sorry, just before
Hasib, can you hear me?
Go, please, yes, please, can you make sure that before you vanish, the screen vanishes and everything, the arts and crafts resources will not vanish like a Zoom meeting. So please, can you make sure that you do your best to help tidy up and leave the area you used as you found it, okay? Not covered in paint or safety materials, but you tidy up everything. Yahya, please put the brush down, sweetheart. Don't want paint flicking all over the place. It'd be a nightmare, more work for me to tidy up. Please, let's tidy up the paint brushes, the paints, whatever you used, felt tips. If you use paint pots, the material that you covered the surface with, if it's paper like ours, stick it in the bin or recycling. If you use cloth, make sure you fold it inwards. Really help your parents out with tidying up. Like I mentioned, would love to see what you've created. Really, really would love to see your created. I've gonna apologize. I can't. I've got the laptop at the other end, and my vision is not the best anymore. So
can I just? Can you hear me, Ustad Hasib?
I really hope you enjoyed the session. Please do take photos and email them to our Scouts email so we can view them as well. Do leave some comments as
Ustad
well.
Hasib, can you hear me?
Enjoyed it or not? And let us know what we could maybe do for next time. Ustad Hamid, could you please open it up so we can all communicate with each other?
Can you hear me, Ustad Hasib?
Oh, I know how to do that.
Are you able to hear me? Can anyone else hear me?
I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, I believe. Thank you, Yahya. Just wait there, sweetheart.
Wait, no, he's muted.
Can you hear me now? Okay, everyone else can hear me.
He said I can.
Right, so Ustad Hasib, you can't hear me.
We can't hear him.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's not talking this way.
Not talking.
Yeah, I'm talking now. Can you hear me now?
Hamid, could you open it up for everyone to become a panelist so they can maybe discuss and share or have a quick conversation? Those of you that need to go, I really hope you enjoyed the session. We are at the end. We are going to try and open up the conversation to other children. If any of your friends are out there, then you're welcome to stay. If you need to go, then you're more than welcome to leave. I really hope you enjoyed the session. Please remember about tidying up the area and do share your hungry caterpillar or your fasting caterpillar that you've created this evening. Other than that, if nobody's going to share the platform, then we can call it a night. Ustad Hamid, could you let us know if anyone's willing to have a chat, or we can call it a night?
Everyone else can hear me at the moment.
You're muted. Do I have to unmute you?
No, he's not muted.
He's not
No,
muted.
your volume has to go up.
Muted.
Your volume. So let me just write that down.
Just before, as I mentioned earlier, this craft was borrowed from a family member who is Mama and me homeschooling. She does great work, so she was very. Thank you very much. She was very kind to let me share her work. Please check her out. I think it's Mama and Me, maybe on Instagram. Mama and Me. Do check it out for other ideas as well.
Okay, so
wow, fantastic. Fizbrahim, you've gone galactic.
Look at him.
Is that Haris? That is wicked. I love yours. Who else can I see from there? Ilham, do you want to show us the final piece? Do you want to show us yours? Iman, you're on holiday. Where's your hungry caterpillar gone? Oh, yeah, awesome. That's really nice. Who is that over there? Zainab, who's that in the green top? I can't see the name.
Chutu.
Chotu kids. That looks lovely. I don't know your name, sweetheart. In the green apron, green-blue apron. I love your caterpillar. Fizbrahim, that looks wicked. Lovely colors. Ilham, where's your sweetheart? There it is. That looks really nice. I love the eyes on that. The antenna looks really nice as well. Who's that? Is that Ibrahim? Let's have a look at yours, lovely. Fizbrahim crew. Iman, I love where you've gone on holiday. That looks awesome. You should do an invite to the Scouts group. Maybe next time you can host and we can come and join you on your lovely island.
Lucky you're out of your house.
Who's that in the corner? Rayan? Keep that still, sweetheart. Rayan, do you want to show us again? That looks lovely. Whoa, that looks lovely. I love those. Maybe Yahya copied your idea of doing green, red. I can't see that. Is that Sumaya, Bayat? Sumaya, let's have a look at yours. Very nice. I love how you've managed that. That is fantastic. You adapted yours. That is very clever. Thumbs up from me. That was fantastic. Okay. Oh, I can't see that. Safia?
Yes.
Is that you, Safia? Give us a thumbs up, Safia. Yes, you are. That looks really nice, sweetheart. Yes. Oh, mashallah, that looks fantastic. I think there's going to be a mass population of butterflies taking over. Okay, my lovelies. I really hope you enjoyed this session. Inshallah, we'll see you next week. Please remember to tidy up, look after your caterpillars. And I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And inshallah, have a lovely, lovely iftar. Do help your parents tidy up and prepare iftar. And inshallah, see you all next week. Okay, so I'm going to sign off. Okay, all right. There we go. Hope you enjoyed it.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Ustad Hasib, I think you had your volume down.
What the spread?
Assalamualaikum.
Okay, assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Hey, Rayan. Hi.
Yes, come up again.
Hi, Zahra. What
Hi,
up?
Lulu. You want to see my non-caterpillar caterpillar?
Hey, Ibrahim. You want to hear my...
Zahra,
Yeah.
for us to see your caterpillar, could you turn your visuals?
Yes, yes.
Let's move this one.
It's not with the egg box though.
It's all right.
Stop.
Oh, wow, that's good.
What?
And
That's a
he
unique
opens.
caterpillar.
Ibrahim, look at this. So I...
It opens.
Ustad, show everybody your hair. Ustad, show everybody your hair. Like me. Like me,
Yeah.
I'm showing my head.
I don't know if,
No,
if you,
I didn't have a hair. Show your hair.
I don't know if everyone remembered last week I spoke about Ibrahim's hair and how wonderful Ibrahim's hair was. So I was inspired by his hair, so I decided to also have a similar haircut to Ibrahim. So I don't know if anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, we do. Show everybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
what about the
I've already
Chotu
seen
kids?
it, so show everyone at the Scouts.
And it's a bit similar to Sophia's dad as well. Right, here we go. Are we ready?
Mama, listen. Mama, listen.
You can show
I've
his
already
hair.
seen this. I've already seen this.
There you go. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you for the applause. So I've joined Ibrahim's club, alhamdulillah.
Hasif Club. The
Yeah, and
Bold
Ustad Hasif
Club.
club.
Wow.
Chotu kids, would you like to have the same haircut?
Ask mommy. Mommy,
You have to wash these.
okay, take it.
Chotu kids, would you like to have a similar haircut as this?
Bathroom, not. Someone on.
Yeah, in the sink, yeah.
And shall I wash my hands?
Yeah, also wash your hands.
Yeah,
and then
so
come back
Chotu kids,
upstairs.
would you like to have the same kind of haircut?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Fantastic. And Rayan, would you like to have a similar haircut?
Yeah, I need a haircut, so I would need similar haircuts.
So like a total complete, like Ibrahim's and mine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'll say Ibrahim's because I don't look so bald and then regrow for like 3 years.
Yeah. Okay, so Jazakallah everyone for joining in, and we are coming very close to iftar time. It's a good time to maybe open up our Qur'ans, even if you remember, we need to read the Quran every day, even if it's 1 line or 2 lines or 3, try and read something every single day, and not just in Ramadan, but also outside of Ramadan, but maybe increase those lines a bit in Ramadan. Is everyone okay for that? Ibrahim, you've got your hand up.
I always say this at the end, but YouTubers, subscribe, please.
Yes,
Leave
absolutely.
a like and comment about this show.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Get 400 likes, please. Thank you.
And
Subscribe.
also, just to mention, Sister Nosheen Mughal has mentioned on YouTube that her page on Instagram is called Mama and Me Home School. So if you want to do more fun kind of activities during Ramadan as well, because remember, having fun is nothing wrong with that. It is a good thing. So if you want to learn more crafts similar to these ones, then please do go into Instagram and follow Mama and Me Home School. So if you watch that, inshallah, if you go in there, you'll have lots and lots of new activities that you can do. Jazakallah for that, Sister Nosheen Mughal. And as for everyone else, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And let's read our dua to finish. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Rayan.